The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty.
Earnestly Podcast coming to you December 6th, 2023. It is a weekly EJ versus Degenerate here on this beautiful Wednesday night, which is actually chilly tonight. I love it. Zack, of course, with us, the Degenerate himself. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
He still looked depressed from Sunday's news. I'm still feeling it too, buddy.
Yeah. You missed on a boatload of games, probably betting. I missed one fucking game. And all you can say, oh, that was a trap game. Every
the Packers and Chiefs?
is a trap game.
Oh, Packers and Chiefs?
Do you know? You can make an excuse for any result in any game.
Of course. All I was saying pre-show is that I wasn't surprised Green Bay won that game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You pick Green Bay. You pick KC to win that game outright. Well, I'm fascinated to hear your pick on the Bills Chiefs game. We'll get to the picks in a second. Of course. Typically you start with the best bets first, but we're gonna change course a little bit to start the show. I want to discuss the committee for the final playoff four. You and I, of course, we do this on the show every week. We do an FSU minutes. Obviously, we're massive FSU fans. Well, Zack, we got left out. Despite going 13-0, despite third string quarterback, and granted he looked like shit. Let's be real about that. Demons did their job. After everything else, we got chaos. We got Alabama beating Georgia, which really put things into total chaos. Texas wins. So Florida State missing the playoff. I already said my piece on this already through numerous platforms. The floor is yours, man. How do you feel about this? Did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? Are you okay? What's up?
Oh, well, I mean, they totally got it wrong. I think they already knew as soon as Georgia lost. Or no, correction. I think they knew Florida State was out before Florida State played that game. Because if the game was 36-26, they still would have kept Florida State out. And been like, well, they still got a third string backup. But here are my points.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama played like shit for most of the season where they struggled to win games. They could not even come up with a quarterback till halfway through the season. So they were playing with their backup, who they decided on, and most of the college football reporting world had decided on Alabama's quarterback is already a second coming. And then he struggled against Auburn. It took a miracle at the end for Alabama to not have two losses going into the SEC championship game. And you're telling me that Florida State, with a month of preparation, with a backup quarterback who has played and started multiple games over 3 years, would not be capable with a month of training, a month of preparation. Even though we have history on our side now with Cardell Jones and Ohio State. But no, we're not even given that. You have now said regular season victories mean nothing. The only thing that matters is how you're playing the last 2 weeks of the season so that if you're looking good the last 2 weeks of the season, you could get in if we think you have a big enough fan base.
Same thing I said, man. Like, to me, here's the thing, I'll say it again. And most of the time, and pretty much every year, I think, since this playoff has started in 2014, we haven't had 4 undefeated teams going into the championship week, if I'm not mistaken. So we always had the argument's always been about the one-loss teams, all the one-loss teams. If Florida State had one loss, have at it. Hell, put them at number 9. I don't give a crap, you know. But the fact of the matter is the anomaly here, and I think this keeps being missed by people in the media all the time. Florida State was undefeated. It was like they lost the game. They were undefeated, and somehow no one's talking about that.
Yeah,
look. I agree. You even agree that if I would put, I don't think Florida State is as good as Georgia, Michigan, you name it, Bama, Texas.
I disagree.
I
totally
question
disagree.
Oregon. I question Oregon, to be honest with you.
I totally disagree.
Okay.
Because like I said, it took a miracle for Alabama to beat Auburn, who is an average team this year.
Right.
All right. Do me a favor, because I know you can pull it up. Pull up like Alabama's schedule this season.
Okay. Do it right now. I put it on the screen too. I put it on the screen. You want to find out? Okay. I know they had the close wins against South Florida. Close win against who was the other team that they barely beat this year earlier? Bring it right now. Hold on 1 second. Bring it up right now. If this thing can incorporate, yeah. Okay. So let me bring up the screen real quick for us so you can all see it here for the people watching this on YouTube. Share the screen, and away this thing will hurry up. Where is it at? Alabama schedule. All right. You see it?
No, I don't. There. Here we go.
Okay, it's there now. All right, hold on. We just get it at the point where I can actually scroll on this thing. Okay, so well, here it is. So they beat me. Okay, so their first win of the year was against Middleton. Whatever, that doesn't even matter. Middleton.
Okay, no. Remember, because this is supposed to be the 5th ranked schedule.
Right.
5th toughest schedule.
Fourth, apparently, according to them, 4th.
But Middle Tennessee, they start out with. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Powerhouse. Next.
Okay. Texas, loss.
Yeah.
And they barely beat 17-3, but that was a close game. Barely beat South Florida, who sucks out loud.
Oh, yeah. South Florida was in it to the 4th quarter. Powerhouse team.
Yep. No, they beat Mississippi, Ole Miss, who was actually top 12 in college football this year. Number 10, I believe, in 10 or 11, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was more SEC bias than what they were really accomplishing at that point.
Blew up Mississippi State. Okay, that's a good win.
Well, really? Because Mississippi State was one of the worst teams in the country this year.
Right. I'm not saying they blew them out. A&M.
But again, that's what I'm saying is, where is this powerhouse of tough opponents?
I'm gonna A&M won by 6. Barely beat Arkansas by 3. Barely beat Tennessee beat by 14. That was kind of a game for a while. Beat LSU by 14, but that was kind of a game also too for a little while.
Wait, how much did we beat LSU by? Like 30?
14. We beat them by 30 something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Beat Kentucky pretty bad. Chattanooga trash. Then you barely beat Auburn.
Yeah, and that's supposedly the 4th or 5th toughest schedule in the country.
Right.
That is total bullshit.
They're weighing the Georgia win more than anything else. They're weighing the Georgia win, especially, which I understand. That is the best single win of the year. Hell, it's the biggest single win of the last 2 years because they haven't lost a game in 2.5 years. I got that. And Zach, for the record, my gripe is less about Alabama getting in, really be honest with you, and more about the process. Like let Bama and Texas duke it out. Again, you got 3 undefeated. Here's my question. Because the committee hid behind the fact that, in my opinion, they're hiding. Okay, they're using the Jordan Travis injury. They said as such after they announced the rankings. Like the committee member came out and said the reason why we did this was because of Jordan Travis' injury.
Yeah. So apparently, there's no such thing as winning with a run game and defense,
right?
Or a kicking game.
So, do you think I'm not as people say, well, maybe they get in if Travis is healthy. Honestly, I have no faith in the community. I warned people about this shit weeks ago.
Oh, I disagree.
warned. They didn't get in when Travis is healthy.
I think Travis, had he made it to the end of the season and played in the championship, he'd have been a top 5 Heisman candidate. They wouldn't have risked leaving him off the ballot.
Right. Okay.
So they wouldn't have risked leaving Florida State out of the top 4 playoff.
I do think that no matter what happened, based on what they're saying here, FSU was toast, because even if the scenario came up where, let's say, Georgia did win against Alabama, they're gone. I still think committee goes Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Washington 3, and then Texas 4.
See, I don't think they couldn't go Texas 4 because
Alabama
Georgia would have beaten Alabama. So,
but
why is Alabama so special now?
Because but the thing is, they can still hide behind the fact that they have the injury, the injury to Travis. They want the best product. Bottom line, this is about TV. This is literally all reality TV. Dude, college football, Zach, is more WWE than NFL.
I don't even I don't get the TV rating shit either. Because I could understand it from a Michigan point. There's like 20 freaking million people living in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many people live in Alabama? Palm Beach County. That's it. That's what they got in Alabama.
But they built a big brand, though, which I don't get it either, for record. But it's such a big brand now that it's Yankees now. It's Lakers. It really is.
That big brand gets watched when it's playing Georgia, but no one turns in to watch it if they're not in the South.
No, but they've developed such a name for themselves now. Look, I get it. I'm with you. I don't understand it either myself, but we know who Nick Saban is. Everybody knows who Nick Saban is. Nick Saban is a mainstream name at this point. It's not the SEC anymore. This is mainstream. You talk about the greatest coach in history of college football. Alabama is now becoming the Yankees. Whether you like it or not.
I disagree. You can go anywhere in America and you'll find a Yankee hat, right? You could go anywhere in America, find a Cowboys hat.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? You do not go everywhere in America and see a Roll Tide Alabama hat.
So you think if Georgia would have won, FSU still would have gotten in?
I don't believe Texas would, because now you have Texas, whose big victory is Alabama, who was also literally on a lifeline against the team who got smoked by New Mexico State.
Right. I'm still upset about the whole thing because, again, what the committee told us is that, hey, guess what? Play the games you want. It don't matter. It's what we want. It's what you want.
Now it doesn't matter till the final month of the season.
Right. And yeah, am I happy we're going to get a 12-team playoff next year? Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'll lessen the load on top of the bracket, but you have chaos in the bottom no matter what. Less chaos than this one is, because at least you're fighting for like 2 and 3 lost teams opposed to like undefeated teams. This was egregious because of the undefeated part.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna say. So anyway, committee, go fuck yourselves. Anyway, week 14 time. NFL. No buys. Buys are over, guys. Buys are over. So tomorrow night, first game. By the way, I won this week and I won the blowout for the record. You're still ahead of me 6-4, I think. So all right, first game tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Patriots at Steelers. Steelers 6-point favorites. Over under 30.
I thought they could flex out even Thursday night games. This is terrible.
Well, I already made plans tomorrow. I'm not watching this fucking game. I'm going to be watching some other stuff on TV or NBA or something, but I'm not watching this. Sorry. I made plans ready.
Now, in my life, I cannot think of a lower NFL total.
Yeah.
And I would not be shocked if it gets pumped down even lower.
But you know what, though? Even with that, I'm going to take a slight over in this one because I think you can see a pick 6 here, a fumble 6 here. You can see something that gets you into like a 17-14 situation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take the over this out of I'm
going to just take Pittsburgh.
To cover 6 points, even without a Pickett?
You don't have to play quarterback against freaking the Patriots anymore. It's terrible.
The one thing they do have is the defense still. I'll give them that. That's it. I'll take a slide over now. But you got Pittsburgh. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. 1 o'clock games. Bucks at Falcons. Falcons 1.5 point favorites. Over under 39.5. So Falcons still in first place in the AFC South. And they get a lot of help too because the Saints lost last week. God, this is so frustrating. This division is so frustrating. I'm taking the under this one. Zach, where are you going?
I'm going over. 2 crap teams. I figured they won't play enough defense. I could see a 23-20 game, something like that. Oh, yeah.
Falcons can't score for shit, though. Last week, beat the Jets 13-8.
The Jets got a good defense.
No, I agree. But again, Falcons don't know how to score for shit. In general.
I haven't seen the Bucks play defense. I think they'll be able to score a couple of touchdowns, at least, and a couple of field goals.
So on opposite sides ready. Start this podcast. Good job. All right. Lions at Bears. Lions 3-point favorites over under 43.5. So Detroit 9-3. We may have a situation, Zach, in when we get to Monday morning where we may have 4 10-3 teams in the NFC. If Dallas beats Philadelphia on Sunday Night Football, which we'll get to in a second, if Detroit wins this game, and if San Fran beats Seattle, which they should, we're going to have 4 10-3 teams in the NFC. Sick, huh? That being said, give me the Lions to cover. I'm there.
See, I thought you were going to start going down this road of have the Lions lost their shine. They struggled against Green Bay and lost, and they almost coughed up a lead this past weekend.
Chicago's trash, man. Come on now.
All right. I'll take the Lions.
I will say the only reason why I would even consider going the other way, Chicago off a bye week, divisional optics, divisional game, in Soldier Field, that kind of thing. But Chicago sucks, dude. Come on. Detroit's a much better team. Detroit's proven that they're not a tier 1 team yet, but definitely a tier 2 team. At the very least. And they're in the race for the 1 seed right now, man. They're in a race right now. So as I said, they're literally a couple days away from having 4 10-3 teams possibly. All right, next one. Colts at Bengals. Colts 1-point favorites over under 44. Call me crazy. We'll get to Colts in a second. Jake Browning, quiet as kept. He's been serviceable from the minute Burrow got hurt. And then Monday happened. like a starting quarterback in this league. Call me crazy, Zach. Look, I'm not saying the Bengals get in the playoffs, but I'm not ready to write him off that with that talent around him. If he can play, he can play on Monday Night Football with the talent around him he has. They can still be in the mix. Now, the reason why I would say no is because that schedule is brutal going forward still. Like we were talking about the schedule being tough with Joe Burrow. Now you got to do with Jake Browning. But that being said, I'm not ready to write him off yet. That being said, this is a must-win for the Bengals. This is tough. This is a tough one. Give me the over on this one, though. This is in Cincinnati. Colts are frisky. Colts are 7-5 right now. Colts will be the 7th seed to play on Saturday for the record. But I'm not ready to give. Colts got a lucky couple games too. Also, they pulled out some shit out of their ass last couple games this year. Give me the over on this one. What you got?
Well, I want to ride the Gardner Minshew bus again.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
But I mean, Browning looked so good on Monday night. And maybe this is what you're supposed to do. Draft a quarterback in college who played for a couple of seasons, put up actual numbers, and won in college. And then he gets a chance to develop so that you have a quality backup at least, even if he's not going to be a starter. I mean, Cincinnati did it right there. But I think, the safe bet is the over.
Yeah. This should be a fun game, though.
It
Also,
is
this is
amazing to see the Colts though still competing for a playoff spot.
unbelievable. But I'll say this is the best win for the Bengals. Both teams, but for the Bengals though this week. All right, next one here. Jaguars at Browns. Browns 3-point favorites over under. Zachary, listen for it. 30.5. Another 30-point burger. So Jaguars dodge a bullet. Trevor Lawrence not out for the year. I would imagine he's out for this game though, at least. There's been no word yet about that yet, as yet. So, Browns, Joe Flacco. Hey, welcome back, Joe Flacco. He looked pretty good last week in the loss. Not.
My wife was raving about him. She's like, "How can he just come and play? How did no one pick him up?"
You need to tell Lord that this is a former Super Bowl MVP. Come on now.
She's always been a fan.
That being said, man, I want to take the under this one. This is the problem. I don't know what Trevor Lawrence is playing this week. We don't even heard anything yet. I'm assuming he's not playing this week, but we haven't heard anything yet.
I don't even know who the backup is.
CJ Beathard.
Ooh, he's put up some numbers.
He played okay on Monday on that last two drives. He did okay. I'm gonna go over because between Flacco moving the ball a little bit yesterday on Monday and Beathard having some moments, 30.5. I know these are two tough defenses, but give me the over. Why not? 17-14. Let's go.
Yeah, it's way too low.
Yeah.
Way too low. 34.5. I might be thinking.
Yes.
But give me the over in this.
Yes. There we go. See, smart guy too. There you go.
It's
all
an
right.
easy victory.
Right. This should be a fun game. Not really. Panthers at Saints. Saints 4.5-point favorites. Over under 30. Is that 39.5? Did I write that right? Yes, 39.5. I think. Let me make sure I got it right because I might have wrote. I didn't write that as clear as I wanted to. No, I was wrong. 37.5. 37.5 over under.
What's the spread again?
4.5 Saints.
Okay.
I announced on Hull Up Podcast last night. My lock of the week was Carolina winning the second game of the year this week. So I have to take Carolina here just because of my announcement. So I'm taking Carolina points straight up.
I think it is progress. They're starting to show highlights of Young where he's throwing completions instead of incompletions and being like, "Oh, look at that form! Look at the distance of that throw." It's a baby step, so I don't know about getting a second win. I don't know if he gets a second win this season. I'll be honest. Give me the Saints to cover on this one.
Derek Carr, we'll see what happens to him. He got hurt in that game against Detroit. Maybe he does play, maybe he doesn't play. That could be a factor. Who knows? I know. I just went for broke on this one in Carolina. So
Taysom Hill could win this game against Carolina. Okay.
Well, Saints are also kind of weird though because they're. I mean, you say
they're a fluky team. You can't predict them.
Is Dennis Allen on hot seat?
No.
Okay. All right. Next one.
I think they got him too cheap.
Yeah. There we go. Yep. It's like the Chargers. All right. Texans at Jets. Texans 4-point favorites over under 33. C.J. Stroud, my MVP candidate. The Jets. So they start Tim Boyle last 2 weeks. He shits the bed. They cut him. The day after. And they bring in Brett Rippon, former Ram, and also the son of your Washington Redskins, Super Bowl MVP, Mark Rippon.
He also just played 3 or 4 weeks ago in Denver.
I know. It's crazy, right? I love the NFL. So the only reason why I'm hesitant to take the Jets with the points is because, again, their defense is amazing. That's all.
Well, it does help that the Texans lost a wide receiver.
Yeah. Is it Tank Dells?
Yeah.
He's out for a while.
That really helps that Jets defense look a little better this weekend.
It does. I'm going to take a slight over, though. A slight over. The 33 is a low number. I mean, CJ Stroud's at least 20 points on this team, right? At least 20 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give me over on this game. What do you got?
Just Make it easy on me. Give me Houston to cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
4 points. Interesting. Okay.
They got Zach Wilson starting. I would be shocked if he even puts an effort out. Like, why would I try for you? I know you're paying me, but you've already told me I'm terrible. You hate. I'm the reason why my team can't make it to the playoffs. Not the GM. The GM can't find anyone as a backup quarterback. But it's all on me. And yet now you want me to come back and save your ass again? Nah. I might roll a fatty and smoke it right on the football field before the first snap.
All right, this is actually a sneaky game of the week here. Not obviously the game of the week is Philly and Dallas in second. But this is a sneaky game of the week here. Rams at Ravens. Ravens are 7-point favorites over on 40.5. Rams all of a sudden in that playoff race. That all of a sudden, last 2 weeks, the NFC wildcard race got a little bit frisky. I don't know if you looked at it right now. They got about a 6-16 right now, between 6 and 8.
No, we got
between 6 and
9.
Of
crappy teams also in the conference. Like 2 whole divisions are crap.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. So you got 40.5 as the over/under. Baltimore 7.5. Baltimore off the bye though. Give me Baltimore. That's off the bye. That's the thing, and they need to win. They also need to win to stay on pace for the number 1 seed in the AFC. Chiefs are behind them on 1 game now, so there's a light ahead of them now.
Yeah, I like Baltimore to cover.
Mm-hmm, me too.
They got healthy after a bye.
Yeah,
something this team more than almost any other team in the league needs. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one: Vikings at Raiders. Vikings 3-point favorites over under 40 points. All right, Vikings off a bye. I believe Josh Dobbs will be starting this week still. And you know what? Give me the Vikings. I'll take Minnesota here on this game. Off a bye also too. So I'll bounce back.
Wow. You got no love for AP, huh?
I do. I love AP, but it's not a good team. Got to retool that team, buddy.
You know what?
You gonna take the Raiders, aren't you?
Yeah, I want to take the Raiders.
I knew it. Crazy bastard, you are. All right, Seahawks at Niners. Niners 10.5-point favorites over under 46.5. It's a lot of points here. Even though Seattle's struggling, it's a lot of points.
This is in San Fran?
Yeah. Now, San Fran did blow them out in Seattle 2 weeks ago.
Yes, I know. And I had liked Seattle, and you warned me about that.
You listen to me.
And yet now I think they were 6.5-point favorites or 7.5-point favorites up in Seattle. And you're like, oh, they're going to blow out Seattle. How could you like Seattle? But now you're like, 10.5 in San Fran. This is tough.
They're not desperate.
What I'm talking about with you.
Desperate. But they look pretty good against Dallas, though. Quite as scapped.
Yeah.
Give me San Francisco. I don't give a shit. San Fran's on a roll right now. They're on a heater. I think it's more about the Niners than the Seahawks at this point. Give me the Seahawks are in trouble. Because right now, the playoffs are today, they're out. I don't know if you saw the standings. They're out. Because right now, the 6th seed is Vikings. 7th seed is the Packers. And again, Seattle's next 2 games. San Francisco this week. Philadelphia next week. Yeah. God bless you. Give me Niners.
Yeah, I like the Niners as well.
Best team in football.
I'm going to learn my lesson after Seattle couldn't stay in the game at home against them. So.
Right. All right, next one. Bills at Chiefs. That's another sticky game of the week here. Chiefs 2-point favorites at home at Arrowhead. Over under 48.5. Interesting. So Bills off a bye. Chiefs struggling. You're a gambler like I am. You're more so than I am because your name's Degenerate for a reason. Typically, home team gets the 3-point love, 3-point grace. However, Vegas, they like Buffalo here. They went 1 point the other way. Open at 2.5. Now it's at 2. Now it's at 2. I don't know. I feel like they're telling you to bet the Bills. I'm not doing that. I think the Chiefs need a win here. And as good as the Bills can be at times, I'm taking the Chiefs to cover 2 points. I just think they need this win bad, and I think they'll come. Even it doesn't have to be a blowout because it's only 2 points. Just give me KC to cover 2 points. They need this win bad. What you got?
Well, I predicted the Bills would make the playoffs, so I definitely need them to win.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be honest, all the Bills have to do is have 2 guys on Kelsey all game long.
Mhm.
Do not, for one play, only have 1 man on him in man coverage. You have to double team him. Just let all the other wide receivers drop 15, 20 balls during the game. You don't have to worry about any other weapon that KC has. Give me the Bills.
Wow. And this
What
is
I
also
watched the other night, no, I'm so infuriated still.
I will say this though. Buffalo is still alive because if they win this game, I'm gonna bring up the schedule in a second because it's a tough schedule. This is the end of the this is the end of the stretch of tough games, I believe, for them. Still got toughies, but it's not as dire as I thought it'd be. So if let's say Buffalo wins the game as you picked them to do. Let's look at some schedules here real quick. I like doing this, some schedules. All right, so let's go. And you'll see it right there. There it is. So Buffalo's in the last 5 games of the year. So obviously KC this week. And home against Dallas. They can win that game actually against Dallas. Because I think Dallas come up with an emotional win or loss against Philadelphia. That could be a opportunity to pounce on that. Chargers, they should win that game in San Diego. LA, whatever the fuck they at now. Patriots, that's a win. And in Miami, may not even need that game by the time we get to the week 18.
Miami might be trying for a 1 seed. They could
maybe, but they'll have the AFC East wrapped up though. I'll say that. But so while I've said last couple weeks,
so
Buffalo
they got
schedule,
1 gimme. 1 gimme.
they got 2 gimmies. Well, the Chargers, I guess.
Wow,
Chargers not a gimme.
Your chosen one.
No, the Chargers suck out loud. The fucking coach is horrible. Okay, it's not a gimme, but I would say it's a 65-35 Buffalo.
Yeah,
I think they quit on. Dude, did you see the shit they put up against the Pats this week?
Yes,
come on. Yeah. So Buffalo's schedule, while it was tough, and it is still landmines there. If they win this game, to 7-6. I mean, would you say the magic number is 10 to make the wild card?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you find 3 wins there? After being KC, I can find San Diego. The Chargers will be 1, Pats be 2. You got to win one either the Miami or Dallas game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That's I don't know, man. That's gonna be interesting. But yeah, Buffalo, I picked them to miss the playoffs this year. Because I thought the conference would be better, which has been weirdly better. But they're still alive, barely though. But they got to win this. This is a must win for the Bills. Must win for the Bills this week, without question. So, but I got KC, you got Buffalo on that one. So, all right, next one. Broncos at Chargers. Speaking of the Chargers, Chargers 3-point favorites over under 44. It's a tough loss to Denver last week. It's Houston. This is definitely lose town. Like the Chargers have like a faint chance in the playoffs. Faint chance. They got to win out pretty much to get in. Which with their talent, they can do that. With the talent on that roster, I don't see it happening though. But they have the talent to do it. I
don't even believe they have defensive talent anymore. They never show up on defense. It's a joke.
It's a good point. I'm gonna take an under in this game though. Give me an under in this one on the Chargers. This is a divisional game. Loser of this game is out of the playoff hunt, in my opinion. I think Broncos lose this game. I don't think they'll get in. Because now they'll be 2 games behind the next team ahead of them, and it's too much. So give me an under this one.
Give me the Broncos.
Oh,
excuse me. Out of the 2 teams that look like they're even trying to compete, I got to go with the Broncos. I know one coach is there paying attention to what's going on the field, so
yeah,
I feel bad for the Chargers.
Yeah, gotta get Steely out of there, bro. Gotta get him out of there. It's time. All right, here we go. Game of the week. Sunday football. Eagles at Cowboys. Cowboys 3.5-point favorites. Over under 52. So, Eagles, tough loss last week against San Francisco. Not surprising. No one's surprised. Vegas had them Niners a 3-point favorite going to the game on the road. Still way they lost though. But again, 3 games, 13 days, tough stretch. The last 4 games they played Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, and Niners, and now Cowboys again. Tough stretch here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if they keep the 1 seed, they'll have earned it. I'll tell you that much. But Dallas is playing good football. Dallas almost beat them a month ago. I'm gonna take Dallas here.
And I'm just gonna say it was an emotional letdown. So they're gonna Eagles are gonna come out firing. So I like the Eagles.
Really? Okay.
I'm just not ready to buy the Cowboys. I get it. They got a great record, but I just don't feel it from that team.
This is the biggest Cowboys game in a while. Like not non-playoff game, should I say, in quite a while. Like they win this game, they're in first place in the NFC East. You know what I'm saying? So this is a huge game. It's a huge game. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Can't wait for this game. Cannot wait. All right. Zachary, we have 2 Monday Night Football games. Not 1, 2. And they both involve my 2 favorite teams in football. First one, Titans at Dolphins. Dolphins 13-point favorites, over under 46.5. I'm tempted to take Tennessee the points here, just because what was it the week when they played the Raiders and they were like big favorites and they didn't cover. Got let down by that. Ah, fuck it. Give me Miami. Tennessee's done. I got Miami.
What's the over under?
46.5. Will Levis put some points up?
Give me the over. It could be a 30-17 game.
That's true. Which will like
Barely.
put a wash on my spread there. Means I lose.
Yep.
All right. And then the last one that game, second one, should I say, Packers at Giants. Packers 6.5-point favorites, over under 36 points. Packers on a roll, 1-3 in a row.
Okay, I get the Packers are winning, but still, it's the Giants. How did they manage to still stay on Monday Night Football?
Well, you just answered your own question. It's Giants.
See, and this I can understand. This is where our market, I can believe, will actually get people watching, unlike Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
True. I see a point there. Zach, bit crazy, but I'm ready to lock up the Packers as a playoff team.
Well, that's good. I just wish they would have done it earlier, so that my bet in Vegas for them to win the division would have stood a better chance. But hey,
I was waiting for you to say why you say that, sir. Well, look at their schedule at the end of the year. Look at this fucking schedule. You see it, right? Giants this week should be a win. Bucks at home should be a win. Panthers on the road should be a win. Then the Vikings on the road. That's the only tough game on the stretch. And the end of the year against Chicago.
So they still have a chance, a slight chance of overtaking the Lions.
No, I'm not. No, you would need Detroit to lose 3+ games to have a thing.
Can you let a gambler have a hope?
I'm just trying to give you realistic odds here, man. You need.
Hey, I know, Jordan Love is playing better than Aaron Rodgers did his first year.
I don't know all that now.
Are you serious? Why don't you look up Jordan Love's first year? Or Aaron Rodgers' first year with Green Bay.
Oh,
starting. It was terrible.
Well, Jordan Love, he looks like a totally different quarterback last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he had that break, cleared his head.
Yeah, he looks really, really good. I'll take oh God. Give me an under. A slight under in this one.
Give me the Packers.
The only reason why I'm not taking the Packers to cover, the Giants have shown some life with DeVito at quarterback on offense. Some life.
Okay.
But yeah, give me the under this one. I think this would be like one of those 20 to, I don't know, fucking 13 or some shit. I don't know. I'm not confident they'll cover because they have points though. So yeah, give me the under that one. So again, no buys this week. So before we get out of here, I want to touch on one NBA topic, and this is actually courtesy of NBA on TNT. Let's touch on the Knicks real quick, because watching the season and watching the East, and Knicks are in the mix. They're playing good basketball. They beat down the bad teams. They can't play with the good teams. And Milwaukee blew them out last night in the tournament game. So Chuck and Kenny were talking about last night on the show about the Knicks and their ceiling, and I thought they made a really, really good point about I'm gonna find it real quick. Where's it at? There it is. They made a really good point about the Knicks and why they are destined to be where they're at, because they need another whale. Here's what I had to say last night.
This is why the Knicks are going to stay in the middle. Every game that they play, they always have the second best player. You play Boston, you got the second or third best player. You play Orlando with Banchero. They don't have a player that's better than Banchero. Milwaukee, we know. Philadelphia, they don't. The Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton is the best player on the floor, if you say that.
Correct.
If you play the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler is the best player on the floor. You play the Cleveland Cavaliers, you have Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. You don't have the best player on the floor no night. Now, they can play better than you, but they are not walking into the gym and saying,
you have no margin for error.
Right.
That's why I said the first night, I said the Knicks need to make a trade.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, in one regard, wasn't that obvious to everybody? Any and every NBA fan, wouldn't that be an obvious thing?
I would say so.
But my second thing is, I guess they don't believe that there could be another early 2000s rendition of the Detroit Pistons.
It could work. You can steal a title out of that, maybe if you're lucky. And it's funny you said that too, because what I say to you and Chris on when we did our preview, I think early in the year, Jalen Brunson reminds me of Chauncey Billups.
Oh, absolutely.
That's actually a good comparison. They're in that spot now where they're a good team, and if you're a Knicks fan, you're happy they're relevant again, which is good. But their ceiling is second round of playoffs like last year. You're not beating Milwaukee. You're not beating Boston. I don't think you're beating Miami still. I don't think you're beating Philadelphia. It's still better. It's still better than you guys, even without James Harden now, with Maxey now and B doing the damn thing. So there's a ceiling on the Knicks. They might still be a top 6 team for again, by the time we get to April, but there's a ceiling. The question is now, what stars are out there for them to get? Like I was saying, Karl-Anthony Towns at one point, but right now things are pretty cool in Minnesota right now. So maybe that's not an option anymore. I mean, Embiid maybe, but right now things are good there in Philly right now as well too. Donovan Mitchell maybe next year, because Donovan Mitchell is on a contract year next year. Maybe you finally get that thing going, but they need another whale. They need another whale. I don't think Randall and Brunson are enough to get you over the hump. As good as this team is, cohesively as a unit, for them to get into the championship picture, they need another piece.
No, I agree. They certainly need another piece, but they have trade assets to do that. They have their own picks. Yeah. They have other teams' picks. They have R.J. Barrett that they could easily trade, or maybe I don't think it'd be wise to trade Randall, but maybe they do flip Randall. But they have a ton of assets. They can get a whale if they want now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that was the whole mission right there. They weren't going to give up everything for Mitchell off the bat. They want to make sure when they put their chips in, they're going to be a complete team.
I mean, in their defense, though, they beat Mitchell in the Cavs last year, so
yeah.
It worked. At least,
and that's what I'm saying. Are we sure Brunson isn't the best player when you put the Cavs out there?
I mean, we had him ranked number 21 and number 20, I think, in our rankings in our player rankings.
So
he might be higher now. He's having a great year this year too.
So there you are.
Maybe I mean, maybe it's time to look and see if look. I think that they have a good talent on the team, but they need one more piece.
No, absolutely. But I mean, when your first two answers are Boston and Milwaukee, yeah, that's not fair.
Right.
You know, you don't need the best player on the court to beat the Heat. You need to play great to beat the Heat because the Heat play as a team.
Right. I'm watching them right now, beating Toronto by 7, about 30 seconds to go in the game. But all right. So anyway, Zach, good job as always. Follow me on Twitter at FSU Know It All with a K. I know we'll keep crying over our Knowles. You know, still depressing, dude.
It's just bullshit.
It's reality TV, bro. That's what it is. Who cares? Anyway, see you next week. Good job.
All right, man. Later.
Thank you.